Hello again, Alpha Strikers. Welcome to the rare review for the 15th anniversary Marvel What If set. Here we go.
For the rares.
For the rares. Number 26, Spider-Man. Again?
Yep.
Alright. Spider-Man family. Reporter. Different keywords. Real name, Peter Parker. In parentheses here, Ben Reilly. I think this is the what if Spider-Man's clone had lived.
Man, look at that picture on the back of the card. He's burying that other Spider-Man alive. I think you lose your hero status when you bury your clone alive.
Yep, for sure. So he has a trait called Working to Keep This Life. When Spider-Man doesn't have 2 action tokens, he can use combat reflexes. I like it. Kind of a mitigated combat reflexes on that 18 defense with super senses he's got rocking there. Then he has a speed power on his first and fourth click. What a random placement for this, but it's called Whatever a Spider Can. Spider-Man can use charge, and improved movement ignores elevated, hindering, and character bases. Give Spider-Man a power action to move him up to his printed speed value and then make a close attack. This right here is so good. This is hypersonic on steroids. Because it's not hypersonic, and he can use his super strength with it.
Nope.
No? Why not?
With the new rules...
Oh, come on.
Object action is a special action that you can't... It's not a regular attack.
WizKids, fix that.
Don't.
Talking to you.
Nope. Leave it.
So, dang it. Well, with the current rules, it works. When the new rules happen to play, yeah, Mike's right. He caught me on it. Let's excitement now.
But no, it's good. Because you can go your full movement...
Grab the object.
While you're grabbing the object, and then hit him next turn afterward.
Or
if they knock back because you have super strength, then you could charge and hit them with the object afterward. Because he has charge regularly.
Oh, he does have charge.
And he ignores character bases, so I could hit one guy who's a problem, knock him back in the wall, run over and hit another guy with the object.
Alright.
That optional object is not bad. I know everybody's hating on it because you can't use hypersonic speed and the object. Or whatever special little thing you want to do that says attack only.
Attack with, yeah.
But just keep in mind, it's more cerebral. You have to think about it. You have to think, I'm going to hit this guy and I'm going to use this object here instead. Or I'm going to follow up with the object on a secondary. Because always remember that super strength is going to give you that knockback and use it to your advantage.
That's right. I'm so glad you're here, Mike. If I was here solo, I'd be missing all this stuff. And having a teammate is so good, guys. Good call, buddy. And then, 10 attack, super strength, 4 range, 3 damage. That first click, so you can, move up, grab out, hit, and then charge and whatever. There's options there. Good call. Second clicks, he has leap, climb, kind of move into position. Okay, does have wild cards. You can pull Avengers if you so need it. Doesn't have willpower. That's all right. Does have an 11-10, and then 2 damage perplex. And then late dial goes into that one more time, charge, move action through people. Super strength again with reflexes and outwit. I do love a Spider-Man with outwit.
That's not reflexes, that's defend.
Oh, hero in the end. It is defend.
So he did lose the hero stats.
And then flurry and outwit. I do love 18 defense with flurry, outwit, 9 attack.
Now I'm going to call this out again just because, we're looking at leap climb. If he's on those second clicks and you just bunted somebody off the edge,
you could chase him down.
You could attack them at the different elevation because
they dropped.
I mean, there are uses for leap climb. They're hidden and not usually how people play. Just you have to think of the leap climb in your toolbox and what it's good for.
Because he does have range, you could shoot or punch at that point, which is nice. If they have ESD, you could choose to punch instead.
But if you knock them back from your speedy attack, and they fell, you've still got super strength. You can thump them with the object.
You can throw the object at
No, you don't have to throw it because it's leap climb. You can hit them with a close combat attack for +2
leap
instead of 3.
Yep. With a 2 damage perplex even.
With a perplex, so you can use your perplex on your attack.
Damage, yep.
It's very, very situational. It has to happen just a specific way. But it could work.
Well, we should have Mike review the next figure. I'm done.
You're done.
He outclassed me on my whole review.
So. Sorry.
Ben Riley Spider-Man, great figure, says Mike.
Just
I missed all of that.
you have to go outside the box. Heroclix is changing. We're so used to falling into all of our old patterns and how we use figures, and they are adjusting the game to give you different strategies in different directions. And unless you're willing to accept those new strategies and those new directions, these characters, they're going to look like garbage. But when you can fan out and be like, well, I could use this figure as clickbait, or I could use the strategy that I've never used before, it's going to play better.
He has 80 points, by the way. Didn't cover that. Not too bad.
Number 27, Iron Man. Avengers, armor, pass. Tony Stark, trait, Sir Iron Man. When Iron Man doesn't have 2 action tokens, he can use ESD. Other than that, straightforward dial. Starts with that beautiful sidestep range combat expert with impervious. I disagree with how quickly he drops. You thump him once, he's down to toughness. Just tick.
And then that late dial weird invulnerability.
Then he picks up invulnerability later. I'm sorry, does his armor grow back? But he does have flight and goes into running shot with outwit, so you can outwit, running shot, shoot. Goes back to sidestep, and then gets his force blast with his range combat expert, which is always beautiful to see late dial because you can offset those lower attack values. And he's got the invuln to hang in there. Though for 100 points, I don't know that I'm getting what I pay for here. I think I would lean harder on the common for 100 points than the rare.
And just like, the what if storyline seems interesting, like him going back to the past and the medieval times. Like, you think they would have like thrown some more flavor. Like, I get the ESD, but why only when he has 1 token or less? Does he have
there's the King's Forge.
Well, I mean in the powers, but
bring repulsors to a sword fight. I think a sword, some Blaze Claws action in there would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
But
because I find it interesting between Spider-Man and him both having the mitigated reflexes on 1 token and then the ESD on 1 token. Does he have willpower?
No.
So you're probably not going to push him a whole ton.
You're just not really wanting people up close to him. That's the problem. So
I don't know. If you ask me, an armored dude in the past where everyone fought with swords and bows, I think he just wrecks everyone's face.
Yeah, repulsors to a sword fight.
All right. Next up, we have the Punisher, number 28, Assassin Soldier. Real name, Frank Castle. Never changes. Trait. Okay, this is kind of a lengthy one, so I'm going to go through it pretty quick here. But set the trap. Give Punisher a power action to place a decoy bystander adjacent to an opposing character.
It's a trap!
Within range and line of fire. So that's within 6 range. Removing any existing decoys from the map. So we never have 1 out at any given time. When a decoy is KO'd by an opponent's attack, deal 3 penetrating damage to each character adjacent to the square it occupied, unless it detected was 2 or greater than the decoy's defense value.
Skadoosh!
Who is only at 15 defense, but he does have shape change and plasticity.
Defend 18.
Why are you defending as a Pog?
To make sure it explodes?
I have a story about this real quick. So yesterday, the Wednesday during our event, one of our guys was playing the Iron Punisher, right? Mm-hmm. He got pinned by this because Colin was playing this Punisher. He rolled attack 12 on a 15. He rolled a 3.
Oh! Shaka Bluey.
Shaka Bluey. So his Iron Punisher took 3 damage. It was pretty great. And then, one turn Colin made it again because he could, and he rolled the Pulse Wave and crit missed with it. So it still died either way. But this Punisher for 60 points, aside from the decoy Pog, has 8 speed, 6 range with stealth, 12 attack with precision strike, 17 willpower, so you can keep on making that bystander Pog on the first click pretty
Shooting
easy.
From the shadows of the attack.
3 damage, and then RC in the last 2 with a weird running shot precision strike, and then flurry blades, range combat expert, 16 reflexes. Wow.
He's just gone rage at that point. You were up close and you hit him down. Now he's got flurry and blades. You try and run, you only die tired. He's like, don't run.
But yeah, this is kind of a cool Punisher. I really wish the decoy didn't have a 15, but it's a good tie-up. It's got 5 range too, so there's a 3 range pulse wave for 1 that it blows up anyways. That's pretty freaking cool for a 0
And
point
shape
pog.
change.
Yeah.
With elasticity, it's pinning you down, and you can't hit it, and if you miss it by, a certain amount, this is why I said defend it up to an 18.
Defend up to an 18.
It just goes kablooey.
Yeah, but then your character who's next to it hits it too. They take damage too, because it's not just opposing characters, it's all characters adjacent. So
it's not flawless.
No.
Somebody can work it.
there are ways you can perplex up his defenses, guys, if you feel so inclined. It does not say printed defense, so that's good.
3 plexers. Yeah, it's got an 18 defense.
What a waste of a pog.
But if it's locking down, I don't know, some really big character, sure, why not, right?
It's normal size too, so it blocks on fire. That's good.
It could help.
Because there are those who shoot
All right,
adjacency.
up next, number 29, Daredevil, Marvel Knights politician, real name Matt Murdock. Special damage power on his first 2 clicks, aid to Vice President Foggy. Daredevil can use Outwit. When he does, after action resolve, he can use Perplex, but only to target the same character. So not only am I outwitting you, but I'm also perplexing you down. He starts with Charge and Super Senses, goes into Precision Strike, then Leap Climb, Combat Reflexes, and just a regular Perplex for 50 points. This is a very interesting support piece, in my opinion, because it's really an Outwit Perplexer that has combat capabilities for staying alive.
How many points is he?
50 points.
So you use him to sit around with the 15 point from Avengers Defenders War to keep him company and let him not die.
Yeah, something
As
like
best
that.
you can, I guess.
Well, you don't even have to have Foggy on
No,
there.
you don't. But I'm just saying, if you want to play Foggy for that cool, can't be outwitted, can't be reduced down for a bigger character, not him, for somebody else, he's saying, hey, don't come get Foggy or else my Daredevil's coming to get you.
Yeah, that would be an interesting theme there. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways he could be used. I don't see him as even a tertiary attacker. I see him as a support figure that has claws. I mean, he's able to defend himself.
Yeah. All right, number 30, Thor, Asgardian Mystical, Thor Odinson. He is 105 points. Look at that dial. Has flight, 7 speed, running shot, pulse wave, with 17 defense, invincible, 4 damage. With this crazy damage power called Under Seth's Thrall. Give an adjacent friendly character with the mystical keyword and a point value of 50 points or more a double power action that deals no pushing damage. When you do, Thor may make a close or range attack. So it's not a mind control. You say this person makes Thor go again. With those naked values to 11 attack with 4 damage, that's scary. Up close or far away, 7 squares. That's a turret on a hammer thud.
So you could have Thor running shot out there, shoot somebody, have your mystical character double power action to mind control him and have him shoot again.
Not mind control, just
Pseudo mind
activate
control.
him.
Yeah, activate him. That's a good term for that. Activate him.
Yeah, you have a robotic Thor on a stick, basically.
Isn't that Ragnarok?
In a sense. But his dial goes on really well. More pulse wave, second click with 18 invulnerable. Does go to sidestep Pensai with 17s both invuln and ESD. And then goes back down to running shot Pensai 9s with pulse wave and thing with 3 and 4 damage. Dude, these Thor values on all of these Thors are just remarkable.
And I'm wondering what they're holding back for the Thor set, the Hammer Thor set.
I know, right? What are we gonna see?
Title character Thor.
It's always gonna be so good. 4 printed damage the entire dial, baby.
Yeah. Alright, up next, and I'm going to apologize because I've pronounced this name wrong on more times than I can count. This is Nico Minoru, not Monroe. I say it wrong all the time. I apologize. It is Minoru. However you want to say that, whichever inflection. Number 31, Runaways Avengers Mysticals. Real name, Nico Minoru. Trait, Runaways. Once per turn, when Nico Minoru attacks, if she's adjacent friendly character with the Runaways or Young Avengers keyword, she can reroll 1 die of the attack roll. Secondary trait, Sister Grimm. Now you notice her dial is really kind of blah. Not a whole lot to look at there. Give her a free action, and she can choose up to 2 standard powers, each of a different combat type. You may not choose a power from a type chosen during your last turn, and she can use the powers chosen until your next turn. So if I pick support and defend this turn, I have to pick something like running shot and Pensai next turn. and then I can go back.
Yep.
Now, it says choose up to 2 standard powers, so I can just pick one if, I say I pick probability control this turn, and then next turn I'm sure I want a movement and an attack power, and then I want to be able to pick, again, so on and so forth.
That's a lot of utility with the up to. I didn't even read that part. That means you could just, for sure,
Just
pick the one.
Or just pick none. And
Or
then
just pick
pick
none.
the same 2 again on the next turn thereafter.
All depends on what you need. I could see people picking stealth a lot for her to kind of keep her safe in the back.
Yeah.
So,
Or, there's just so many options that you pick, but you can't do things like Steel Energy and Quake because they're both an attack power. You'd have to pick something different. But you do have regen at your disposal, so you could bring her back from the dead. You'd have probability control, you have support, you have perplex. There's all sorts of things you pick here. You can pick Flurry Blades together.
Blades Exploit.
Blades Exploit could be a different combination you could pick. You could do Impervious and Shape Change. That's annoyance.
That's good.
But there's a lot of options here, especially for only 75 points with the Avengers TA, so her movement isn't going to count against your action totals. She's very Diet Coke pick-a-power, but again, in the right hands, any pick-a-power is going to be absolutely dangerous.
All right, we have number 32, Victorious, future robot. Real name, Victor Mancha. He has special speed power on the first 2 and last 2 clicks of his 7-click long dial with a 140 point max and a 100 point minimum. It says, attack from the future to ensure my past. Victorious can use Facing Teleport. When he does, if he moved half his speed value or less, after action resolve, he may make a range attack. If he moved more than half his speed value, he can use Stealth. That gives you a lot of utility there. He can either move way up there, pick a nice little perch, and hang out, or move half of his 10 speed and make an attack. Kind of like similar to Cable.
Yep.
From Deadpool. Then he has a damage power on the first 2 clicks of his 140 point dial and then 1 click on his 100 point dial, called Hijacked the Conqueror's Time Suit. Opposing characters within range and line of fire, 8 range, can't use probability control, period. If a character can't use probability control because of this power, Victorious can use prob control. He is literally robbing your team of prob control.
Team prob as well.
Correct.
You can use team probability control, which gives you the ability to use probability control. I'm taking that because I could see you, but I'm not using team. I'm using regular probability control.
Correct.
Ugh.
That is really good. It just says they can't use probability control, not if it's a power possessed, not if the power they have can use.
If it specifically says that you're doing a probability control, nope.
Yep. And any team has the ability to use
Probability
control. Dial is really, really solid. 140 points, does have that phasing 11 attack with Pensai, but he can't use it with that power. 8 range 2 bolts, does have Indomitable for willpower. 17-18 with Impervious, and that 3 damage prob if you have prob on your team. Drops down into Sidestep, Pensai with a Naked 10s, Invul, and Toughness are at RCE, which Mike does love his RCE Sidestep. And then last 2 clicks have that Facing power again with Precision Strike 9s, 2s, and 17 Toughness.
So I'm just throwing it out there. I played him at 100 points, and he just did not perform where I wanted him to. He was always a liability. Granted, I may not have had the proper figures to run with him to really make it count, but I wouldn't recommend running him at 100 unless you have everything built around him.
Did he get better over the night for you at all?
No.
You never had to take a prob from anybody, or is there any?
I did take a prob once. I took it from the
little Tony Stark.
The common Tony Stark.
That's not bad then. That's kind of a total rob from that one thing.
But I mean, it's line of fire. He put a guy right in front of him so he could get his prob back.
Ah, smart.
I was like, yeah, how it goes.
Put him up high. All right, what do you got?
Next up, number 33, Spider-Man. Spider-Man family. Real name, May Parker. Special attack power for her first 3 attacks. Pastry decorator weapons I made. Okay, I'm not going to be able to read this card with a straight face. I think this figure is just a joke. From start to finish. It really is. Spider-Man can use Incapacitate when she does hit characters can't move until your next turn. That's right, I frostinged you into place.
It's a Diet Coke webbing marker.
40 points for full range, 2 bolts, sidestep, super senses with that special in cap.
But this is they can't move, right?
Says that they can't move until your next turn.
But things will be placed.
Yep.
The marker's a little bit better because they can't be moved or placed. You auto break, but they can break away from it though.
And then she's just got leap, climb into support, combat reflexes, and perplex for 40 points. I'm looking at this character going, she's not a primary attacker. Her main deal is incapacitate. Then she gets hit. Then she turns into a support piece that bounces around a lot. But I mean,
she can get into place release with that leap climb, but
love the flavor text here. I'm just going to cover it. Why, this new vitamin tonic is remarkable. Golly, I just jumped 2 stories. You're still with it, Granny?
Oh my goodness.
I can't let that gosh awful leapfrog win.
That leapfrog?
Yep. It says leapfrog.
Hmm.
Wheat cakes!
Because the wheat cakes.
Peter's so frail he can never learn. I am Spider-Man. This figure, I'm sorry, it's an absolute joke. Maybe on a backwards dial night I could see her being useful, but I don't know anybody who builds their team around in cap. Period.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I probably won't be calling in help from the Spider-Verse on that one. I'm sorry, Abby.
Oh,
you don't make
wheat
the cut.
cakes. But I have wheat cakes for everybody.
Moving right along. TV's Daredevil, number 34, celebrity keyword, Matt Murdock. Daredevil ID card, if you so are inclined, which could have been used for any of the Matt Murdocks we have discussed, and there are still at least one more to come. So, movie star trait. The first time each turn a character without the celebrity or reporter keyword attacks TV's Daredevil, you may modify his defense value by +2 that turn. If you do, modify his attack value by -2 until the end of your next turn. Wow. So basically for their turn, you go +2 to your defense. On his dial, he has a 17 with super senses with plasticity. Only 30 points, does have Spider-Man TA to copy team abilities, and he does ignore hindering terrain for movement purposes. This is the rare of the TV peoples. And I am feeling there's a lack of something here.
He's a tie-up piece. That's what he does.
Tried and true tie-up piece. But no exploit, no outwit, no perplex. Just, I hug you until you don't want to hug me anymore back.
He's going to hug it out. Give him the symbiote so he has shape change, super senses, and plasticity. And then copy some mystics while you're at it. Just make it they don't want to hit him. And he's just going to lock him down.
Yeah. With the new rules, he'll be better with that 18 super senses to be way less chance of being hit than with precision strike. But I don't know. I like the TV Spider-Man better just because of the theme and the way he can be played. This one's cool and all. I feel it should have had something more as a rare. Something else for 30 points. I mean, Heroclix is fine, but he's not attacking. He's just tying up.
It's just a 40-point tie-up.
Yep.
All right. Number 35, Daredevil, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, there's another one right there.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Spy, Matt Murdock. Ignores hindering terrain for movement purposes. Trait, level 10 S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent. Daredevil, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and friendly characters within 3 squares are considered adjacent to each other for purposes of the S.H.I.E.L.D. team ability. So, fan out a little bit. Everybody gets the use of the bonus for range for the shield and power actions to pawn off the +1 to your damage.
And with that, you can play shield much more safely and not worry about energy explosion as bad.
Yep, and he has his special movement power, running shot, sidestep, and stealth, so he can hide while all of your little stealth guys are out there getting -1 to their range because of that range of 3. But I mean, running shot and sidestep. When I pulled this guy in our sealed, I was really tempted to play him with that 18 defenses with super senses. Drops into perplex with combat reflexes, still has a stealth, and then plasticity. And 6 range. I was really going to pair him up with some other characters that have like Spider-Man or Shield to really just kind of camp out. But I decided against it. It just seemed, I don't know, it seemed frail. I'm not ready to put my chips on Daredevil, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, we'll have to see. If we get some more Shield stuff down the line, see all these What If Shield characters could be really, really good. Alright. Last one for the rares. Captain America. As Guardian, he does have a Guardian. He does have Defenders. Hey, Defenders with Hellcat. You can give that. That works.
There we go. There's
And
your team.
Soldier. Real name, Steve Rogers. So he does have the From an Alternate Earth. If this character's on your sideline, you may give a free action to a friendly character named Captain America or Thor that's equal or more points. Place that character with this character on the same click number. He is a cool 100 points. We know we have a Thor who's 100 or more points in the set, and not Captain America, but there is a couple in older sets, I think.
Even ADW, you could pull in Agent Cap in 90.
No, it has to be more points than him.
More points.
What's the highest point cap we have?
I think we got a 115 somewhere.
I know there's 250s, the common and the super.
China.
Oh! Nope. The chases are saying I have a 90.
Yep. The Hydra Cap's only 90.
I'll have to look at my older stuff. I think the Civil War might have one.
And there's stuff coming out in the future.
This is true. His other trait is called Hammer and Shield. Captain America can use energy deflection and range combat expert. Not too bad. So look at that dial and say, okay, it's got a 17 with ESD up to a 19 from range, 20 in the hindering, and RCE on that 4 printed damage with the 11
and
attack.
4 or 11 and 6. Boom, there goes that hammer.
With 5 range. Aw, I couldn't give him 6 with a hammer. Oh well. And then he has Intimidating Presence, a damage power on the first 2 clicks. Captain America can use leadership, of course. If he does and succeeds while adjacent to one or more opposing characters of 150 points or less, give those characters an action token. Wow. So that's not total. As long as they're all under 150 points, they all get tokens.
I'm intimidating. Kind of a big deal.
I mean, you're like the captain with a hammer. That should be Thor's. So, yeah, I'd say so. Dude, this dial is solid. He never has below a 10 attack ever. 11s everywhere. 18s and 17s. 1/6 with outwit on the last dial there. With Force Blast. Dude, RCE this entire dial.
Yep.
Dude, that's insanity. He is okay to get in the fight and say, here I am with my 11-4, sure. And there were 10-3s the whole dial. And then say, oh, you're bunted back because of my Force Blast or something like that? Or my Quake? Throw. This dial is insane for 100 points. Anything you want to throw on this one?
No, I think you covered it all.
I love that piece. It's so cool looking too. So inspiring. Alright guys, well that has been our rare review of the What If set for the Marvel 15th anniversary. Our Clicks anniversary.
Marvel 15. Marvel's only been around for 15 years.
No. The Heroclix 15th anniversary Marvel set What If.
There you go.
Please like it, sub it, and share this video to all your friends and family. Show them how cool this set is. They're going to love it. It's good figures. And Mike has a cool question for you guys.
So please, if you guys could answer, just let us know what your favorite piece was from the rares and why. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your comments, get a different perspective on these pieces. And, if there's something that we were coming up short on and you have a great build for that, just throw it in there too. Just tell us how these figures could be used to the best of their absolute capabilities.
And remember, guys,
Strike first.
and strike hard.